Pleasure to me all at last, and welcome once again to HJN Season 5. So, we are added to for today, so we have ourselves a new animal worth talking about. Of all the animal related subjects I've had to talk about on HJN, I feel like that bears is something that's been up my alley for a while now. And I feel like the big thing worth mentioning is that bears are a bit different than most others out there. They're one of the few examples of the Ursus family, meaning bears. And while ursine animals like bears aren't exactly as big as feline or canine, the bear is still seen as a pretty formidable predator out there, especially if you're familiar with the almighty grizzly. Those things, I swear, they're so powerful they could rip you apart in seconds. On top of that, they are known for being insanely terrifying. With their roar, that alone can spell a lot of trouble out there in the woods. On top of all that, if you happen to be caught in the crossfire with a grizzly bear, oh man, expect a lot of trouble. But there are thankfully ways that you can deter yourself from the bear. If you carry a certain pepper spray for bears, or mace, then that's one unique way that you can get them to leave. But if they happen to catch up to you, whether it be because you tried to run off, or it be because you ended up getting in the way while they're on a run in the woods, probably after another animal, and well, a few things you could do is to lie down in the fetal position, and hopefully they'll go away after they fiddle around with you for a bit. Make a direct punch on the nose, and they will more likely bolt. So, that's just a few mere examples of what you can do to defend yourself against a bear, should you ever come across any of them. But we know that the grizzly bear is not the only variety of bear to look out for. There are in fact the brown bears, not necessarily like the grizzlies, and there's also the black bears. And we know that the black bears are a bit different in terms of their temperament and their behavior compared to the grizzly bears. They do often see people as more of a threat than anybody else, and they also do see them as pretty much no mere meal for them. Often they'll run in the other direction, but depending on how they feel or what their hunger is like, sometimes we can expect other bears to come after people, as it has happened before. And on top of that, like some other animals out there, you can't always expect the bear to immediately leave you alone. And we know that bears are big in terms of their carnivorous diets, but also can sometimes feast on other things as well. Not only that, but when it comes to pop culture, there's tons of them worth talking about. There's that scene in Old Yeller where Yeller himself defends his family against the almighty bear, which was pretty incredible. Then of course there were the boars and the rabid wolf. But that's already pretty big tale worth telling for another time. There's Brother Bear, a unique Disney phenomenon that occurred way back in the day. And of course we can't forget about the Berenstain Bears, a well-known children's book series that has been going on for 60 long years. And for the record, there's way more that I could talk about pop culture wise regarding the bear, but I feel like that could take a bit too much time off from everything that I've been doing so far. So I'll pretty much just leave it at the fact that the bear is quite popular, despite not necessarily being as much of a animal grouping as with dogs, cats, etc. So while ursines aren't exactly as common, they still do have plenty to offer, plenty of bear types worth looking out for, and plenty of different color variations to keep a watch out for as well. So, of course, that's it for this piece. I will see you guys later on, though, in the next installment of HJN Season 5.